Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my skincare routine, and I'm also going to be talking about Botox. This has been a topic that I've wanted to start talking about because I get asked so often about my skincare routine. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like it's another area of like Insta versus reality, or just things that you don't see behind the scenes. I just want to keep it real. So I will start first with talking about my skincare routine, and I want you guys to know I am no expert in skincare. I struggle with my own skincare routine of knowing what to do. I am learning a lot right now about skincare, so just that disclaimer. My skincare routine is very basic because I have never really had that many skin problems on my face. So when I get comments from you girls that say like, your skin is so clear, like what is your skincare routine? And I'm like, I use makeup remover wipes. Honestly guys, like so much of skincare is genetics. And yes, some of it comes down to lifestyle and diet and exercise, but there's that big piece of the genetic component. That's why I haven't like talked about it much up to now, because I feel like such a pretentious B word being like, I don't have any skin problems. And not to say that I don't at all, but I just feel like I'm not someone that is really in a place to be giving advice on skincare. However, in my recent infertility journey and all the hormones that I've been put on for IVF, I definitely have had more acne in like this last year than I ever have in my life. But again, I feel so bad saying that because it's been like 3 huge like cystic acnes. Is that what you would call it? Like huge pimples. So there has been a hormonal piece that I have experienced, but I'm not gonna pretend that it's been on a level that I can really complain about. So my best friend, her name is Danielle, she works in skincare and I work in fitness. And it's so funny because we are kind of really opposites in our interests, and that like she's always telling me like, Anna, you need this for your skin, this for your skin, this for your skin. And I'm like, okay, you need to do this exercise, and this exercise. And neither of us listen to each other. She is always telling me like, Anna, you need to do this. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like, you guys, I don't want to say that I'm lazy. It's just that up to now, I haven't really had to do much to my skin to like upkeep it. And that kind of is gonna come to bite me in my ass now that I am in my early 30s. And I do need to start taking care of my skin. And something that she said is that people who learn to take care of their skin early on in life are usually set up for success more later on in life, or, you know, taking care of their skin in older age because, you know, it's been a part of their routine since they were teenagers. Whereas people like me that have never had to deal with it, when they get to their 30s, they're like, oh shit, like I need to start taking care of my skin, and sometimes it can be too late. So I'm definitely kind of in that period right now where I'm like, what is all this? Like, what do I need to do? I need to learn how to take care of my skin. So with that being said, I will show you the products that I do use. They are very few in number, but what I use every single day is makeup remover wipes. So this is primarily at the end of the day how I like, whether I'm wearing makeup or not, I will use these just to kind of get like the dirt from the day off, and I love them. I love makeup remover wipes, but they can't be too oily. I don't like the oily ones. So the Sephora ones have always been really good for my skin. And then as far as the face wash that I use, I recently discovered this because of my fertility journey. I've been trying to reduce toxins and like chemicals in products. I did even look for a like non-toxic makeup remover wipe, but I haven't found one that I've liked yet. But this is a face wash that I found and I love it. It actually takes off my makeup really, really well. So this is my favorite face wash, and to be honest, I really only use this in the shower or if I wore makeup that day, which I don't really wear makeup that often. It's only if I have like a shoot, if I'm doing a video or anything like that, like a special event. On a day-to-day, I don't really wear makeup, so I only use this like I said, in the shower, or if I need to take off a full face of makeup. Otherwise, I do just use the makeup remover wipes. Then, as for a daily moisturizer, I don't know if this is supposed to be a daily moisturizer, but it's what I use. So this is HA5, which is hyaluronic acid, and this is something that is from my best friend that she was like, you need to be using HA5 or hyaluronic acid. She's been telling me this forever, and it was just always kind of like, okay, but like I would never incorporate it into my routine. I'm a creature of habit. It's hard for me to do like a 5-10 step facial routine when I'm used to doing one. But I love how this feels. It's very like velvety. And so when she had me try this, I was like, ooh, I like that. Like I can do that. So I do typically morning and night put this on my face. As for sunscreen, so I am very fair skinned. I do have spray tan on right now. I use Skin Medica Tinted SPF, and I would say I put this on maybe once a week. Just keeping it real. I'm trying to get better about my skincare routine, but yeah, when I use it, I use this. Okay, and then since I do have on a spray tan right now and I get a lot of questions about my tan, I typically do a custom airbrush at a tanning salon, but lately I've been trying to figure out how to do it at home. The only thing is that the one that you do at like a tanning salon is so much darker and it is very professional, like no splotches or anything like that. So I've been using this week, it's literally been a new experiment. This is from Tarte. It says Glow with the Faux, and I use a mitt and everything and I put it all over my body. And it is very light the first day, and I've been putting it on every other day, and this is my third application, and I actually really like it because I feel like it's very natural looking. So this has been what I've been using this week. And then just a little thing that I discovered recently, I seriously feel like a 16-year-old girl in this world because I got this sent to me and you like put it around your head, you know, like when you're gonna wash your face, and it protects your hair from getting wet. And I love it. Like it's such a small little thing that has actually made me wash my face more because I don't have to worry about my hair getting wet. So this little thing has been a good little find. And that's it. So those are pretty much all the products that I use for my skincare. Like I said, guys, I still have a lot to learn, and I know for a fact that there are things that are not here that my best friend is like, you need to start taking this. I want to say it's retinol and like vitamin C serum. I don't know. I'm gonna go see her in a bit, so I'll let her tell you guys, or the nurse is gonna let you guys know kind of what is a good like starting point for skincare. So that brings me to the next topic of Botox. I need to take a deep breath for this one. I just have kind of avoided addressing this topic because I have been afraid of the backlash. People can be really judgmental, and they also feel like if I'm talking about Botox and that somehow implies saying that someone else needs to get it done. Let me say this from the beginning. In no way do I want this to be me saying or promoting or implying that anyone needs to get anything done to their face or like Botox or lip injections. I want to share this because, like I said, I don't want to be like, oh, these are my skincare products, but I also get Botox. And like not say that out loud. Like I want to say it out loud. I want you guys to know that my skin is not just from genetics or these products. You know, like I also do get Botox. So I wanna share with you guys kind of how I got introduced to the world of Botox. My best friend, again, Danielle, before she started working in that industry, it was always a passion of hers. She 100% sees it as like, if this is gonna make a woman feel more confident, like more power to her. It's not about changing the way you look, but if there are little things that you might be insecure about, or if there's something that's gonna help you feel more confident, then go for it. As long as you're not hurting yourself, as long as it's safe. So when she asked me for the first time, I believe I was about 25, I was living in Italy at the time, if on my next trip to the United States, if I wanted to go with her. And I said yes, but I did think about it for a while. I even consulted my mom to get her thoughts on it. She did not approve. Of course, every mom is gonna be like, honey, you're perfect the way you are. And I was always like, okay, mom, I get it, but like, I'm a very expressive person. Not only when I'm talking to people, but you guys, when I'm on Instagram or YouTube reading your comments, this is me. I'm like full smile. Like when I do, let me know if anyone else does this. When I put a smiling emoji, I'm literally smiling. Like I can't type that emoji without physically smiling myself. And so like that's one side of it. I also like, if I'm focused, I'm like this. And that was the main area. I think they call it your 11s. This was the main area that I really started to get not only fine lines, but they were like deep set wrinkles to where when my face was relaxed, you could see those wrinkles, you could see those lines. And that's where I brought it up to Danielle, and she's like, well, Botox these days is becoming a preventative for a lot of women in their late 20s and early 30s, where, you know, before those wrinkles become deep set and permanent, you can get Botox to kind of prevent that from happening. And I was like, sure, why not? You know, I didn't really think of it in this huge philosophical way of like, am I gonna do this for the rest of my life? Like I'm preventing aging. Like it wasn't really that, to be honest, but those are valid questions. So pretty much we went in, I got Botox in between my eyebrows. I did also get my lips done for the first time. And you guys, it was a nightmare. Like when I think about my first experience getting lip injections, as I mentioned, my mom was not about it. And she was like, you are fine the way you are. And I also was struggling internally because I do feel so passionately about loving your body, you know, body love. And I was having a hard time reconciling that of, am I betraying myself? Am I going against my own beliefs? And literally, guys, the moment she injected the first side of my lip, I panicked and I almost passed out. I had to tell her to stop. They had to give me water. They had to give me food. And I started crying. And in that moment, as soon as she was injecting, all the voices came in my head of my mom being like, don't do it. Like you're perfect the way you are. And in my head, I'm like, don't betray yourself, you know? And I went into the bathroom and I looked at myself and I was just like, okay, I have one side of my lips that are swollen right now. And I went back into the room. She's like, do you want to continue? And I'm like, well, I kind of have to. Like, I don't really have a choice. I have one side of my lips that are swollen right now. So I did obviously continue. I got to my hotel room afterwards and I was a mess. I was bawling. I was so upset with myself. And I was just like, how could you, you know? And I did regret it for like 24 hours. And then I went to bed. I woke up the next day, swelling had gone down a little bit. And I was like, okay, it's not that bad. The swelling had gone down and I think just the shock had worn off a bit. And I realized that, especially because the swelling went down, there's a very minor difference, even though like looking back, I definitely am happy that I go now where I go and not to there. They also, guys, didn't numb me. For anyone that has had their lips done, it's painful, even with numbing. I don't want to say it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced, but like it hurts. And they didn't numb me. It is standard to numb lips. Botox does not hurt as bad, but lips hurt. So yeah, there's that. So that first experience, happy that's over. Never gonna go back there again. So that is kind of how I got introduced to the world of Botox and lip injections. And to be honest, guys, like I did like the results. I think that one of the reasons why is because I never went really drastic. I always wanted to be sure that it was very tastefully done and just very minor. So I do have an appointment today where I am going to get my Botox touched up and my lip injections. And I am going to have a little Q&A with the nurse there. So there are several questions that you guys asked that are definitely more for a nurse that I cannot answer, but there are a few questions that you submitted that are more personal that I am going to get to. So the first question is, do you regret getting Botox or injections? And to be honest, I don't. I personally am very happy with the results, but I will say something that's very interesting that I've noticed happen is I haven't gotten it done in probably about 4 months. It's been since my last appointment, and for whatever reason the Botox has worn off a lot quicker this time around. It does depend on your metabolism, and I have a lot more wrinkles now than I usually do, a lot more expression in my forehead and in between my eyebrows. and I don't mind it. You know, I actually am really surprised and happy that I'm not upset by it. Like, I do have this appointment, but it is primarily because I am still going through fertility treatments, and I hope any day now I'll be pregnant. And you can't do Botox when you're pregnant. When you're trying to conceive, it's fine. But yeah, I really don't mind the wrinkles, and it kind of has taken me by surprise that I really am okay with them, and that has shown me that for the long term that I eventually will be fine without it. So I feel like these last 5 years of me doing it has probably been a part of like, ooh, this is fun, you know, like that's cute, or I like this, or I feel good. But at my core, like, I'm not doing it because I'm unhappy with myself or that I hate something about myself. It's not that, but say it was. Like, I've received DMs from some of you girls that are like, I do Botox because I hated this about myself and I didn't like taking pictures or looking in the mirror. Then you should do what makes you happy. And no matter what anyone else says, a lot of people that do Botox and lip injections, they do it, but they don't talk about it because they're afraid of the judgment from other people. So I just feel like, you know, I'm gonna get more into this topic when I talk about how I reconcile this with being a promoter of self-love, but yeah, I'll stop there and I'll get back to this in a bit. So, do I regret getting Botox injections? No. All right, the next question is, you say everyone has cellulite and it's okay. Wondering why your thoughts on wrinkles is different. Oh man. Before I answer this question, let me just say, when it comes to procedures that have to do with the body, that have to do with things that could be achieved through healthy diet and exercise, that's where I personally draw the line. I would never condone any type of surgical procedure that has to do with avoiding living a healthy lifestyle. That is where I personally, I'm like, nope. I feel like for the face, you can't work out your face, you know? But at the same time, like, wrinkles are a part of aging, and I have always wanted to age gracefully. Getting Botox and things like that, it's more like easing into it. And like I said, I am actually surprised at how okay I am with having, you know, forehead wrinkles. I think it was just that the origin of where I started with this is that the deep set wrinkles where my face was completely relaxed is what was kind of making me be more like, okay, no, I want to do something as a preventative measure because I'm 25. At the end of the day, it still just comes back to do whatever is right and best for you. And as long as what you're doing isn't to avoid eating healthy or working out, then I think that's where I kind of have that line of whether it's personally acceptable or not. But even then, guys, like, I'm not gonna judge you. Like, no matter what you do. Do I recommend eating healthy and working out as an alternative? Yes. Do I think that 99% of goals are attainable through healthy diet and exercise? Yes. It just takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time. So I hope that answers that question. You guys can let me know what you think or if you have another take on it. The next question is one that I got a lot, is Botox during fertility treatment / IVF? Question mark, exclamation mark. Currently starting our 3rd IVF transfer. Another question was, do you have any info on TTC and Botox? So obviously my best friend knows that I've been trying to conceive for almost 2 years now, and I have had her ask her nurses and her team several times, like, is it safe? Is it safe? I've asked my doctor, is it safe? And the consensus is, when you are pregnant, no. And the reason for that is because there are no studies done on pregnant women for Botox and injections, because it's kind of unethical. Like, it's hard to inject pregnant women knowingly with the substance to see if it impacts the pregnancy. So it's a no because it's such an unknown and it's not worth it. And I totally agree. Like, the second I get a positive pregnancy test, there is no way I'm gonna inject anything into my body that isn't 100% scientifically backed and safe. So with that being said, during trying to conceive or during IVF, the response has pretty much been like, well, there's nothing to say that it is not safe. And obviously this industry, like Botox and injections, is primarily female. there would have been a connection by now if there was something that was causing infertility from Botox or lip injections or anything else, and there's no such link. And asking my best friend about it, like in her professional experience, has she heard of anything? And she's like, honestly, not even a little bleep of something that could be impacting, you know, fertility. So another question I saw quite a bit. So this says, I want lip injections, do they hurt? If they numb you, it won't hurt that bad, but it does hurt a little bit. Do they ruin your lips if you stop getting them? So no, pretty much your body absorbs it and your lips just kind of go back to how they were pre-injections, but there's definitely no like deflating of your lips or anything like that. Did your skincare routine change when you turned 30? It wasn't like I turned 30 and I'm like, oh, I need to take care of my skin, but definitely being in my early 30s, it is something that I think of a lot more now because my skin is changing and I do need to start taking care of it. So yes, and I'm working on fine-tuning what my skincare routine should be. Do you think that you will stop getting Botox at a certain age? So this is a great question. I can't say for sure what I'm gonna do in the future, but I do think that I would be okay not getting it as much or maybe not getting it at all because it's never been something that I have like deep down been like, I hate this about myself, I want to fix this. So for that reason, I think that I would be okay not getting it. This is a good question. Do you wish we lived in a society where people didn't feel like they need to get Botox, etc.? I feel like yes, no one should ever feel like they need to get it. I don't feel like I need to get it, but I want to. It's something that makes me happy and that I like the results from, and that's why I get it, but I don't feel like I absolutely need this. I would be lying if I said that social media didn't have a little bit of an impact, so I guess I could say like, yeah, there's a part of me where I wonder with all of these women that get it done and that other women feel like, okay, I need to get it done too because they are, like, where does that stop? I feel like I don't really have the answer for that, but again, like, it just comes back to do what you want to do. I think that there's so much judgment in society, and whether we need to stop judging women who love every bit of their body and the skin that they're in, we need to stop judging them for that and let that girl live, you know? But then on the other hand, like if there's a woman that's like, I wish I had that confidence, I'm not there, and I want to get Botox or lip injections to make me feel better about myself. Like, let that girl live too. You know, there's no one definition of what self-love is or should be. For some people, it is loving the skin that they're in, no questions asked. But for other women, it might be getting some of these procedures done. And I don't feel like I'm in a position to judge that or to make a statement on which side is okay. I think at the end of the day, we just need to support women in all of their decisions and whatever they choose to do. And that's kind of where I sit with it. Maybe in a perfect world, no one would feel the need to get anything done, but this is the world we live in. And again, I just go back to, as long as it's not avoiding living a healthy lifestyle. Same thing for skincare though. Like, as long as you are not getting Botox as a means to escape taking care of your skin, you know, that's also a valid discussion, because as someone who is learning how to take care of their skin, I don't want Botox to just be a band-aid for my lack of skincare. So, all right guys, I have to get going to my appointment. So I'm gonna bring you guys with me and I'm going to get my Botox touched up and my lips, and we're gonna do a little Q&A with the nurse. So I will see you guys there.